Sebastian for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and I'm joined by...
It's Stevie Janevski from Australia's Wicked Smile. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, dude. Is it nice and bright over there?
It is. I mean, the leaves are starting to fall, which is that's bad news.
Yeah.
so I'm sure things are starting to improve your way. Well, I hope so.
Yeah, we're starting to get a bit of sun at last, so it's all good, dude. Right.
Fantastic.
I want to congratulate you, mate, on Wait for the Night. It's brilliant. It's totally addictive. I can't get enough of it. I'm a big Sebastian Bach fan, and you sort of remind me a little bit of Sebastian Bach, just a bit, a few of the songs. I hope that's like okay to say.
Oh wow, man! Look, Skid Row is one of my all-time favorite bands, and that's a fantastic compliment because they're a huge influence, and in particular, getting the album, I think the debut album, the self-titled, in year 7, I think it was, when I was in high school. It was one of the reasons why I picked up the guitar. So thank you, man. I mean, we're very, very influenced by the 80s hard rock, 80s, 90s, early 90s hard rock sound, and love Sebastian Bach, man. As a matter of fact, we're actually on tour with Skid Row. We're doing the Australia-wide tour in December, so that's exciting.
That would be good. Yeah. From the album artwork and obviously your videos, they drip of the good times of the 80s and the 90s, as you already said. How much of an influence is this genre to you? I mean, I was talking to someone out of a band called Cobra Spell. It's a Dutch metal band, and they drip. They like you. They drip in 80s, but she's really quite young, and it was just like a bit of a surprise because she's left a death metal band to form Cobra Spell. So it's amazing. So I'm thinking we might be getting a resurgence of 80s to 90s metal. What are your feelings on that?
I hope so. In terms of, I mean, I think it'll be a different spin on things slightly. We are a huge, I mean, we're very, very influenced by 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, in particular, 80s. So bands such as Skid Row, who I've mentioned, and Dokken and Rat and Icon and all those type of bands, man, absolutely love the style. So for us, it was trying to get back to that sort of sound, yet write really a really strong album with good songs. And the thing is, the main ingredients from that era is, the guitar sound and the vocalist who's got a huge range, like you mentioned before with Sebastian Bach, whether it be Sebastian or Rob Halford from Judas Priest or Ronnie James Dio, David Coverdale. They're all good singers, and for us it was about trying to write really good songs based on that influence of the genre, for sure. And is it coming back? Maybe. It's been missing for quite a while, so it'll. I think the style of music surely has to sort of come back in some way or form because it was a fantastic era.
It was, and I was lucky enough to like live through it when I was like 13, 14. Was first out and Motley Crue and that, so it was amazing times. Happy days, mate. Happy days.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, which 2 tracks would you play me if I was a total virgin to your band?
I'd probably say "Wait for the Night," the title track. That one's kind of got a bit of a. It's just a good selection in regards to kind of says what we're about, lyrically and also in terms of musically and hooks and vocals. And our latest single, "Days of Delirium," I think that's another side to the band in regards to just a big sound with catchy songs and parts to it. Yeah.
The thing with me and Skid Row, like Slave to the Grind album, Seb goes into a lot of DL, and was that you? Yeah. Sorry. I noticed on your album, you deal with like mental health issues and social issues, which is like really important to people like myself. And I think that's really good that you do that and you champion that. Obviously, we've gone through COVID. It's been shit. It's been awful. We're possibly going to have a 3rd World War. Who knows? Has and are the events that are happening today inspiring you now lyrically? Are you writing at the moment for a new album?
Yeah, well, the when we formed the band, it was just when Danny and I got together, the vocalist Danny Ciccardi and myself. It was just before COVID hit, and we put out We Fall, and the response was fantastic. And then that all happened, and lyrically, the song We Fall is about questions the political system. Questions also talks about the genre of heavy rock and metal getting swept under the carpet and stuff. So we wanted to go with that, even though we're very influenced by the 80s genre. Lyrically, we wanted to focus on things that are not the obvious in terms of that style. So we touch on mental health, touch on bullying. Like I have a daughter who she's actually a singer in her own right. Cassidy Paris, her name is, and she would get bullied for wanting to play rock and roll, in early high school. So things that kind of mattered to me, and I wanted to just bring to people's attention more or less. So COVID definitely allowed us to really focus on what we were doing, even though it was such a rubbish time in terms of what was happening. But it allowed us to actually work. And I guess being a new band with so many people at home, I think a lot of people took a risk on a new band like Wicked Smile. So in some ways, it kind of worked to our benefit. So that's I guess the power of music. With if you write some good songs and stuff, that was starting to get back out there. I know sometimes it could be so frustrating. You think back in the day, you think all you had to do was write a good song. Whereas it doesn't always work like that. You've got to be able to market it. You've got to have a lot of things working to your favor and stuff. And we're very excited in terms of the response we've had, for sure.
That's brilliant. So are there plans to do an EP before you get over to the UK or anything like that?
Well, we've just started to write some new material. Unsure whether we'll have something out by then or not, but we come over to the UK and for a month of November, and we're playing a whole bunch of shows, and we're playing like Hard Rock Hell Fest. We're playing we're playing a whole bunch of headline fests.
Edinburgh, Castle, Winterfest, which is a new one. It's going to be freezing up there. It's going to be Baltic. Is that one you're really looking forward to?
It's definitely looking forward to the fest. The weather's, there's not much we can do about that. But in terms of people have mentioned that that's been a favourite new fest of many people, for many people in the UK. So we're definitely looking forward to it. And it's all about exposure for us. That's the whole point of us travelling from so far from Australia. We just want to get to as many people we can and spread the word about Wicked Smile.
Brilliant. So what can people expect from your performances?
Well, we definitely play all of the tracks on the album, and we're the type of band that the way we record is pretty much what you get live in regards to I think we sound like guitar tones, is pretty much exactly the same. Danny Ciccardi is fantastic vocally. We all sing, it's just all, it's a fun live show. We're a good fun rock and roll band, that's for sure. We move around and stuff, and we've been around for quite a while, so seasoned in some ways. So yeah, look, man, I think it's an experience. And when people hear Danny Ciccardi sing, and when they see his hair, he's got the longest hair in rock and roll. If you haven't seen a picture of him,
so fucking jealous.
Yeah, aren't we all? That's right. But yeah, man, it's all about fun and replicating the songs as best we can, and for better or worse, we're live.
Absolutely. So obviously, you said you've been over to England before. Have the other members of the band been over to the UK?
Well, our drummer actually, Jason, is actually is originally from London, so he's been living in Australia for the last 20 years. So it's going to be his first time back. So in many, many years. So that's very, very exciting. I know Danny Ciccardi has toured quite a bit throughout Europe. I'm not sure if he's played in the UK previously. So, but for the other guys, Glenn on bass and Dave on guitar, it'll be their first time. So it'll be exciting. I've actually been to the UK 4 times before. I love it. you know, I love it, man. You know, I've played so many shows in the UK. It's fantastic.
Right. Who were you playing with before in the past then?
Okay, so I with the Radio Sun, which is a little bit more melodic, heavy rock, and also in a band called Black Majesty, who I was with for about 20 years. They're a bit more of a power metal style band. So I left the band about 2.5 years ago on very, very good terms. Of just time for me to just do something different. So I'm still best mates with the guys. And yeah, man, it's all good fun. So yeah, I've loved every time I've been to the UK.
Right. Okay. All right. This is and as if you could choose 3 bands from the 80s to go back in time with and tour with, who would you choose?
Oh, fantastic question. I'd love to go back to the debut era of Skid Row, of course. I would say Dio on the debut album as well. So and as a third, I'm going to go a little bit different, something a bit different. Shotgun Messiah. I'd love that band. And I'd probably say, yeah, the second album actually is my favorite. Yeah, so I'd probably say Skid Row, Dio, and Shotgun Messiah for something different. Not as cliche, right?
Yeah, that's good, dude. That's good. So going back in time, can you remember your first ever appearance on stage and how it felt? Can you remember what that was like?
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been in high school playing like a battle of the bands, and I remember playing. They were all covers, and we were playing songs like Bon Jovi and Pat Benatar and Dokken. So yeah, it was all about good fun. Yep.
Brilliant. Okay, you might not want to answer this one. Can you tell us the wildest thing you've ever done in the name of rock and roll?
The name of rock and roll. Gee. Okay. Well, okay. It wasn't intentional, but I was playing a show at a venue called the Riverside Inn. For those people from Melbourne, Australia, would know that place. It doesn't exist anymore. It got torn down. But we were playing a gig, and it was a very, very old stage, and there was holes in certain parts. I know that sounds strange but I fell into the stage. So that was pretty rock and roll, I thought. So I remember one of my legs dipping right through, going through the stage. So that was pretty Spinal Tap as well.
Did you keep playing though? Did you keep on playing?
I kept playing, absolutely. Yeah. I kept playing, and all in the name of Nigel Tufnell, I'm sure.
That's so cool, mate. That's so cool. Yeah. Okay, so obviously I think your band have got massive potential. I mean, I think it'll be huge on mainland Europe stages, definitely. In the UK, hopefully you get good promotion and everything. But would you have rather started in a band back in the 80s than now?
Not really. I wouldn't say that, because I really, have really enjoyed my journey. I mean, I've been playing in bands all throughout my life, and absolutely fantastic memories. I mean, collectively, I think I've made something like about 15 albums to date. So yeah, man, I've enjoyed it, and I love where things are at with Wicked Smile, man. It's just exciting, and it's just a really good band. So not necessarily. I mean, for the exposure in terms of people, maybe yes, but in terms of where I'm at, no, not really.
Okay, so is it your band? As in, did you form the band, and did you come up with the name Wicked Smile for the band?
Yeah, I definitely started the band probably about 2.5 years ago. I wrote about 5 tracks, and I played them to a good friend of mine named Paul Lane, who now is who is the singer in a band called Defiance. So I've been good friends with Paul for many years. He's from Canada, and from there it was just time to put an Aussie band together. And Danny Ciccardi was the first person that came to mind. Fantastic singer. I've always respected what he's done previously, and vocally he's just amazing. And then I formed the band from there. I got Glenn Cav on bass, and we've got Jason Tyra on drums, and we've got Dave Graham on second lead guitar.
Ah, excellent, mate. Excellent. Right. So can you give me 4 words to describe Wicked Smile?
That's very, very good. Okay, this is testing me. Wicked, number 1. I'd like to say classy, particularly with the way that we write our lyrics and touch on themes. And we're real. I like to say we keep it real. You know, we can definitely pull off what we do in the studio live. And lastly, fun. It's just about enjoying ourselves. So yeah, man.
Cool. Okay, this is just the 5 questions, either or either. First one: small intimate gig or festival?
Festival.
Kangaroo or koala?
Kangaroo.
Right. Saint or sinner?
Oh, I'd probably be the saint in the band.
Yeah. Denim or leather?
Leather.
Right. And the final one: beer or water?
For me, water, but the rest of the guys are going to hate on me because it's all beer for them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm on my 3rd week of detox, so yeah, I'd be water at the moment. It's good.
Love it. Love
it. That suits me. All right, man. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
I just want to say thanks, Seb, to you first of all, and in regards to people in the UK, I hope people get a chance to come down and see us. We're playing shows all over the UK, and if you can't be at one of our headline shows, with my daughter actually supporting Cassidy Paris, we also have The Brink and Mad Haven as support bands on select dates. And if you can't make it to one of those shows, hopefully you can catch us at either of the festivals that we're at.